Today's topic is turning your disappointment into praise. And this is my second time doing this video. The first time I talked for I don't know how long, and all of a sudden I pushed finish and it said, you need to be on for longer than 4 seconds. And I was like, I was on for longer than 4 seconds, but apparently it did not even record. So I just wanted to let you know that today, turning your disappointment into praise is very real for me, because when you spend time doing something and then it doesn't happen, you can get disappointed. But that's the enemy's plan. But God's plan is to turn your disappointment into praise. So I wanted to focus on a specific verse that means something to me, and it's from Deuteronomy 31:6. And the verse is to be strong and courageous. I love that. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified, for the Lord your God goes with you, and he will never leave you nor forsake you. So I just want to encourage you today that whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, be strong and courageous. I don't know what kind of job you have, or, where you're actually at with your workplace. But obviously, if you're there, then there's a reason for you to be there. A lot of people actually say to me, I wish I was working in a different job, or I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. And, one thing that the Lord has really shown me is that no matter where you are, you're actually supposed to be there for today. And if you're not supposed to be there, the Lord will take you out of it and bring you to something else, or he'll stir your spirit in order to make sure that you actually, go to where he's calling you to go. When I was at my last job, I constantly said that I wanted to be in women's ministry. And a lot of the times I'd be like, Lord, I've been praying to be in women's ministry, and why isn't it happening? Why am I not in the ministry that I know you called me to when I was like 25? And the Lord said, when are you going to realize that you are in women's ministry? Like, what you're doing in your workplace is ministering to women that actually can't even get to church, or don't go to church, or maybe don't even know me. And so, hi, Pam. So anyway, it's an encouragement in the sense that all those years I was disappointed with, feeling that I was supposed to be someplace else. And in reality, I was right where God wanted me to be. So that is an encouragement for you today, that no matter what your disappointment is, turn your disappointment into praise. And, when I go to speak to people, often I can get disappointed on somebody's reaction or how they perceive me or whatever. But the reality is that, if you turn that disappointment into praise and say, Lord, you brought me here. You know who you want me to speak to. You know who you want to hear or feel your love. And I have to believe that God has actually taken me to this place. So it's really an encouragement to look at things differently. And one of the things I had written in my book, Jesus at Work, was that expectations, when you have an expectation of how something is going to turn out and then it doesn't turn out that way, as I tell my kids, you have two choices. You can either be disappointed and discouraged, or you could say, well, Lord, you apparently didn't want that to happen, and I'm going to praise you anyway. Building my own business has been like that. It's been discouraging sometimes, in the sense that my expectation is I'd be earning a certain amount of money right away, but that's not always the case. And, I would get disappointed in myself for not, or having some doors closed. Certain doors have, closed on me. But I have to believe that God will open doors when he wants me to do something or to go somewhere. So I have been working really hard on turning disappointment into praise. And that's why the verse from Deuteronomy is really important, because he will show you, how to know that he is with you. If we know the promise that he will never leave us nor forsake us, then why are we getting disappointed? And I know it's because the enemy wants to discourage me. And I'm just not going to believe the lies of the enemy, to be honest. So if he's trying to discourage me, I'm going to turn that discouragement into praise and say, thank you, Jesus, that you'll never leave me nor forsake me. And every door you open is the door that you want me to walk through. And every door you close is because you don't want me to walk through that door or interact with that person or be in business contact with that person. So I just wanted to encourage you today, if there's anything that can change disappointment, it's praise. And there's another thing I was going to share with you. It's from the book of Ecclesiastes. It's verses 3:1, and it says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. And so I want to encourage you today in knowing this, that no matter where you are in your season of life, there's a time for everything. When I was raising my kids, there was a time to raise my children. And often, as I talked about earlier, I always wanted to be in women's ministry, and I would get discouraged that I wasn't in the ministry like I was supposed to. And so I would say, Lord, why am I not in women's ministry already? This is what you've called me to. Of course, I was still working and raising children. And he said, there is a time and season for everything. So my pastor even said to me once, he's like, Rhonda, you're in the season of raising your children, one of the most important jobs. And he was right. It is. It's one of the most important jobs, and it still is. But God has given me the freedom now to do what he's calling me to. And I have to say, his timing is always perfect. So I just pray for you today that you feel encouraged in your business, in your family, and wherever God is calling you to, that you are in the exact place that he wants you. And no matter where you go, know that today, right where we are today, is exactly where he wants you in your business, in your home, in your family. But if there's some place that he wants to bring you, he will stir your spirit. He will speak to you. You'll start to see movement. Just go to his word. Don't go to anything else. Just go right directly to his word, and he will speak to you through that. So I just want to thank you all, for listening. And, I pray that you are encouraged today, that God has a great plan for you. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. And he sends his army of angels to encamp around you. So God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend and a blessed rest of the day.